Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying to sort the bodywork on the van. Now as you can see, there's the beginnings of surface rust dotted about a few places. The same on the other side. I'm not going to paint the entire van. What I'm going to do is go from this swage line here down. I'm going to paint it matte black. I'm also going to redo the wheels and finish them in satin black, and I'm going to begin to undercoat the underside of the van. That's just the spare, that's why it looks like that. The other one's starting to get ready for paint. I'm also going to be treating any of the surface rust inside the wheel well and underneath and undercoating them. I'll just show you the sills because they're really good on this van. They're the original sills and they're really strong on both sides. And it's the same with this side. Just a little bit of surface rust. Just looks a bit scruffy is all. This is what I'm going to use to fix it. Just a drill with a poly wheel to tackle the main parts of the rust. A large wire brush, a small wire brush for little crevices. We're using finishing pads, wet and dry, some pre-paint wipes, rust converter, obviously masking tape, paint brushes, roller. For under sealing I'm going to be using Gravitex. Now I've used this on pretty much every car I've ever had. I really like the finish on it. It's a really nice matte finish. It's good stuff, it's pretty cheap as well. And obviously a good quality face mask, some goggles because we're going to be drilling rust. I've got, this is everything apart from the paint. I'm waiting on 2.5 litres of military, matte black military paint and a few tins of primer and satin black to do the wheels. But we might as well, they're coming either today or tomorrow, so we're going to start tackling the rust and getting it prepped for paint. So let's get started. Okay, so that's all the rust bits ground back and treated with a rust converter. Apart from this bit here, this is above the swage line, so I'm going to have to do something different on that. Go around the other side. These front wings were the worst part, but it's solid metal. It's not through anywhere. It's only just slightly pitted, so I'll probably get away with it even using the filler on this. So happy with that. It's looking a bit worse for wear at the moment though. Okay, so yesterday, after applying the rust converter, I painted the exposed areas with a brush just to protect the newly treated metalwork. Next up, I went over the entire lower panel with 240 grit wet and dry paper just to knock off any lumps and bumps. Once that's dry, I'm going to go over the entire panel again with a Scotch pad just to give it a nice key for the paint. Then I'm going to wipe it down with panel wipe and it'll be ready to apply the paint. Okay, so that's the whole lower half of the van rubbed down with a Scotch pad, and I used a fine line. You can see the blue fine line masking tape there and regular masking tape. Now I'm going to wipe it all down with panel wipe and it'll be ready for paint. I'm going to sand down and paint this step just while I've got the drill in that out. Okay, so it's had 2 coats already, but there's a few imperfections in the paint, namely the foam from the foam roller. After about 5 minutes it seems to disintegrate and leaves little bits dotted about. So I'm going to go over the whole thing again with 600 grit wet and dry paper, wet, wash it down, let it dry, and then I'm going to give it a third and final coat, and fingers crossed I'm happy with the finish then. So I'll get stuck in. Yeah, that's the stuff I'm talking about. You can see it there. It's like little pieces of the foam roller just dotted about. That's both sides flattened down. Then we'll wash them down and get it ready for paint. Again. I'll leave you with a few photographs.